Well, good morning, good morning. It's been a little while since we posted, but today we're going to do something different. We're going to do a review from when we started and try to show a little bit of what we've accomplished so far.
A catch-up update.
Catch-up update. That's good. So we actually purchased our bus back in September last year,
2016.
Yeah, so we've had the bus for almost a year. Now I thought I would finish it right away, but the truth is, if we get truthful, I've probably spent an average of 2 hours a day since we bought this bus. I've taken a lot of breaks for whatever reason.
It's okay, we didn't have a deadline that we had to meet.
Didn't have any kind of a deadline to meet, but I did set some mental goals that I thought we could accomplish, you know, and
that
then
just made it harder on yourself.
You're only making it
only making it worse on yourself. Yes.
Okay.
That's what you were doing.
So anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of update and maybe give an estimate as to when we think we will be completely finished.
No, we're not going to give an estimate.
We're not.
We're just going to say we'll let you know when it's finished.
Okay. Okay.
Puts too much pressure on you.
Okay, so we're going to do a walkthrough anyway of the bus, kind of from where we began, and I'm going to try to go back and edit, pull a few pictures out, show you what it looked like at different stages from some of the stills that I have. I have some still pictures.
Okay.
And I'll just add those to it as we're going along.
Okay.
When I edit.
All right.
So, first of all, I have the most wonderful wife in the whole world. 47 years.
That's a long time.
She is just like Mary Poppins. She's practically perfect in every way.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we just have so much fun together. And I'm so anxious to get this bus done, just so we can get on the road and enjoy it and spend more time together.
That's true.
So that's, and
with other people we love.
And with other people that we love and will learn to love as we meet them on the road. So it's going to be a really good time. Did I say good morning, good morning, good morning?
You did. You said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So life is a joy, and we're going to have fun today doing a video for you. So here we go. Now, when we bought the bus, it was full of seats. Yes,
just a regular bus, regular school bus.
80 passenger or a 14 window. I think they call it a 14 window bus. Yeah. Had 14 windows down each side. And so my first step was just to tear out all the seats, and I sold all those on Craigslist. And then I decided to go ahead and tear out the original air conditioner. It took up a lot of head space. It also took up a lot of space underneath where I wanted to put the generator and the air conditioner.
Right.
So we took all that out, and I still have all that air conditioning stuff, but took all that out, and then we started the process of remodeling the inside of the bus.
Yeah. Fortunately, ours didn't have rotted floor or rust on the floor or anything, so when we pulled the chairs out and everything, we were just able to get started right away.
Right. I think a lot of it is because we have the storage bins underneath.
So it was protected from any water and stuff coming up on them.
Right. And the storage bins, it was actually built as a activity bus. So, and that's what it was used for. So most of the miles are road miles.
Right.
It didn't have any stop and go miles, those kind of things. So, and with all the storage underneath, all the floor was protected, so we opted not to tear it out. Instead, what we did is we put down some 1.5 inch foam, and put down 1x3s every 2 foot, and then we cut in our radiant floor with the router.
Yep.
And after we routed all the floor in, then I put the tongue and groove subfloor 3/4 plywood on top of that.
Yep.
So that takes us to, and we can see a spot right there where the subfloor is still showing, where we haven't put down any finished floor yet. So after we put the subfloor in, then we started putting in some of the walls.
Right.
Some
We
of
had to build the place back there for the water tanks to go.
Yes, because it's
Storage.
a pusher, the engine's in the rear, we opted to go ahead and put our water tanks, one on the top and one on the bottom of that little step up that goes up to
The bed.
the bed.
So we should go back to
you
the
want to start
bedroom
back
and
there
start
first?
back there? Sure.
Okay, let's do that. Now this floor is raised. We raised it up. It's right above the wheel wells is the height that I put this. And then we put a standard regular door. Show me the door, babe. Put just a regular door in there. Ain't it great? So now we have under here is our this is our gray water tank. And it's a 100-gallon gray water tank. It's underneath this step right here, and it goes back a little ways. And then our freshwater tank comes from, it's about 2 foot wide, and it comes out to here. So our freshwater tank is on top of that step, and the gray water tank is below the step. Then we ordered a mattress from
Tuft and Needle.
Tuft and Needle. And so it was easy to get through the door and get back here. And boy, when you cut that plastic, it just poofs out. It's amazing. It's very comfortable. We haven't slept on it yet, except just for a nap or two. And we've kept the plastic on just because we have a little bit more painting to do back here and over here. And I have a little window seat to put in. So we wanted to keep the plastic on the mattress just to keep from getting that messed up. Right, baby?
Yep.
Then here we bought a couple of lights that we thought were real cute. And they were from IKEA. And we have them, here you go, I'll turn the switch.
I'll do it.
Okay. We have them hooked up to a switch right here. And those actually are our reading lights. Now they're very adjustable. You can move them around, point it at me. There you go. They're very adjustable. And we think that's going to work out real good for us. Then in the corner, we have a return for, a breather for our motor. So it had a huge cover that came out another 5 or 6 inches. So I just threw that cover away, insulated it real well, and built that little magazine rack and book rack over the top of it. We had to have something there to cover it, so that's the least that I could do. And so now we have a little place to stick our books and our Bibles and all that kind of stuff, so that we can have it for reading at night, and have the switches there for our little night lights or reading lights. We also bought these little night lights like this one here. We bought those little night lights
Not IKEA.
Where?
IKEA.
And they're pretty cool, and they are...
Make it turn on because it's too light.
Yeah, it has to... At nighttime, they come on and stay on all night. Pretty cool. And they're LEDs, so they pull almost nothing. Now, in our bedroom, on the opposite side, you can see we've already bought a bunch of bedding here. But on the opposite side, that's where the TV is going to go. And it's going to go up close to the ceiling. And it'll have a little shelf right below the TV, so that we can put our DVD player, that kind of stuff right there. And I ran a cat...
Behind here is where... Oh, sorry.
Well, I ran a Cat 4 cable from the front up to here, so that our Wi-Fi, we can just hook it directly back here. It'll be easy. And then what are you going to say?
Back in that corner is where you're going to put your little pressurized water?
That's correct. Okay. So we're putting a 6-gallon water tank right here in the corner, and it will have the pump mounted on top. And I'm using a centrifugal pump, not a diaphragm pump, a centrifugal pump that I already had. They're much quieter. They don't have that buzzing sound. And so anyway, that will be all in the corner, and it'll be built in. So I built a little cabinet around that, and it will be insulated so that we don't have so much sound. Even when it does kick on, there won't be any sound.
Mostly it's going to kick on when you're taking a shower, probably.
That's correct. And here's the back of the door is white. You can see there's our emergency exit, and the front of the door is natural, and they've all been sanded, so they're ready for the last coat. I'm ready to do that now. Then I have a little bit of construction left to do in this room. What's that right there, baby? Tell me about it.
This is, I haven't used it yet, but I've heard good reports about it. It's a washer-dryer combination in one unit.
Isn't it 4.7 cubic feet?
It's, that's a good question.
I think that's what it was.
I don't remember. It's pretty big, though.
Stainless steel.
And it holds quite a bit. And you put the clothes in there, and then you take them out. They're dried.
That's right.
So, yeah. It's pretty exciting because I have some things to learn about using this, but it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Fun.
And what's going to go on the top?
This is storage for like towels, stuff like that. Probably.
And
put
down
my
below?
Trays, my tubs of medicine up there. Down here will be a drawer, and it's going to have a place for my dishwashing detergent and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Cleaning stuff. And this is the bathtub.
Yeah, we moved it down.
Yep.
I did have it up, but that means, since I moved it down, that means we have to put an
extra gray water tank.
A gray water tank underneath the bus, inside our storage.
Because water doesn't go uphill very well.
Not so far. We haven't figured out how to do that.
And this is the tile, which we picked out for the back walls.
This is a wood grain, and that will go on the back and the side walls over here also.
Yep.
Then the shower head actually will be high, which I really like. Shower head's going to be way up here right by the ceiling. It'll be way above my head. I don't like to have to duck down to get underneath the...
Yep. And there's another door here. This is our closet.
Whoops, let me get over here so we can show the walls. The wall's not on the side of the closet, but that is our closet area.
And then this.
And there'll be a sink right there.
Yep, not in yet, but it will be there. And this is going to be the composting toilet.
Yeah.
And it will just
urine diverter there.
Right.
Okay.
And then we just open up this to change when we need to empty.
5-gallon tank will sit right here. And what we're going to do is I'm putting a little motor underneath. You can see the hole through right there. I'm putting a motor underneath, and there will be a button on the wall right over here. There'll be a button, and then the toilet paper will hang right there, but the button will be there. You can push the button, and it will turn slowly, and it will, with the sawdust and everything in there, it will cover everything up, and
all the solids.
All the solids. The urine will be diverted. Actually, this will be the funnel that will have a hose attached to the bottom, and it will go underneath where we have storage. And there'll be a hole right there. The hose will just go and go underneath, and there we'll set a 5-gallon gas can underneath there. So we'll have a 5-gallon storage tank. Then the little gray pipe right here, what's that going to have on it, babe?
I believe that's going to have a computer fan.
That's right.
That will be running pretty much all the time.
Right.
That will just constantly be moving air out.
Right. And this is actually just a junction box for electricity. But what it has in it is I also have a switch leg run in there so that we can have a light right here. That's one of our little LED lights. And also it will connect, our computer fan will connect to that, and that will run all the time, 24 hours a day. And then the light switch will be hooked up to the light above, and then there will be a light switch on the wall here also. So we'll have a light switch. We'll also have the flushing switch, which will be on a timer so that it runs like for 10 seconds. And then we'll have the toilet tissue, and then in this corner the sink, and a little medicine cabinet in that side wall right there.
Some kind of a mirror.
Some kind of a mirror in here. Haven't decided whether we want to put it on the whole wall or how we're going to do it yet, but there will be a mirror there. Okay, we put foam insulation. Actually, it's Tiger foam. Ordered it off the internet. It is a little bit of a mess to shoot, but it really does a great job insulating. Now, one thing I noticed is on the wider boards, I didn't get behind those too well, so I had to come back in, just took a pencil and I poked a hole and put some regular spray foam in there. But I really like this stuff, and it makes it much more quiet in here. So you just spray it on. Then I just took a saw and cut it off so that it's level. But I've got it in the whole house. I think it cost about $2,500 for all the foam I needed for doing all of the outside. And this is 3.5 inches thick, and so it's supposed to be like an R7 per inch. So that means we do have pretty good insulation in this bus, and I would recommend it, but make sure you wear safety equipment. Make sure you cover everything, because it is hard to get off of anything that you get it on. Right, baby?
Right. Did you do like the ceiling as well? The walls and the ceiling?
Now, we did not pull the metal off the ceiling. I just put 2-inch strips, and then we fill that in between that. So it has the normal insulation, which is, it's like fiberglass insulation, and it's a good 1.5 inches thick. And then we have the foam that I put over that. So we have another 2 inches of foam over that, or pretty close to 2 inches. So the ceiling now has very good insulation also. But yes, we did the entire bus. Under the floor, we put 1.5 inch rigid foam with, it has foil on one side. And we put that side up because we did the radiant floors, and it will help reflect the heat up. Our hardwood floors are actually a click lock type, but they are all solid wood, and they're hickory.
And we really love them.
Yeah, they turned out real good. Of course, the refrigerator will go right there. We put some of the dark wood back in there. And let's see. You want to tell me about this?
This is my husband, Mr. Overkill Jim. He wanted a water filter, whole house water filter on. So this is a 1,000,000 gallon, which should take us a little while to use the 1,000,000 gallon water filter. This will filter all the water that comes in. This is our hot water heater. Instant hot water heater, runs on propane, runs at high altitude, which is really important, we found out. And it will not only provide hot water for the showers and for the washing machine and for the sink, but also for the floor.
That's correct.
Radiant floor.
For the radiant floor.
Yeah. So it will do all of those.
Now, the original one we bought, the Takagi, we bought it, had it here for a while, and then I looked in the instructions and it said it would not operate above 6,000 feet. So this is the only one that Takagi makes, so we had to trade it. The only one that will operate up to 10,000 feet. Yeah. It should have no problem. Actually, he said to 12,000 feet, but I think in the book it said 10,000. To 10,000 feet. Okay, so again, there's the refrigerator. We will have an ice machine, an ice maker in our refrigerator, so that line will just simply run back to the mana block. And the mana block is this manifold back here that you see all the water lines running into. Okay, can you tell me about that?
These are our cabinets that we did. We need to sand them down, do one more coat on them because they're not as smooth as they should be. But we just did a little white paint on here, wiped it off, put some glitter on there, which I wanted because I thought it was pretty. And then we put epoxy, clear epoxy over it.
Yeah, there's glitter in there, all right.
So it's kind of cute. And we think we have the final coat of paint finally on our cabinets in the kitchen.
Right, and we still have to make the doors.
Yeah, the doors and the drawers.
And the drawers, which just takes
this is going to
piece
be
of
a
cake.
little pull-out pantry right here, which he also hasn't made yet, but
For storage, for...
that's easy for him. Canned stuff mostly.
Yeah.
Like stuff like canned
We'll
stuff.
just put lots of
Will
cans
fit
in there.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to just pull it out, access whatever you want.
Yeah. So that's
And
that.
then this up here is just a little, what they used to call a what-not shelf. But we're going to use it in a little different way.
Yeah, we're probably going to, who knows what we're going to do with it for sure. But we're probably going to hook,
The shadow nose.
yeah, put lids for like quart jars and stuff here and screw them into there, and that'll be a good way to store some extra things, and it will look cute too.
Yes. And then this is our full-size stove, and it is a propane, propane as some people say. We call it propane in Oklahoma. But anyway, it has a full-size oven for all those goodies that Debbie cooks me.
Yes, and I was at my sister's and she had this beautiful Pioneer Woman cookware. So I ordered me a set because I was going to have new cookware for here anyway. So ordered me a set of that, and it's so cute.
It is so cute, and it kind of matches
It kind of matches, so yeah. We're going with that. So that's fun.
And here, below the sink, we will have a computer.
Right.
Right behind this, we'll show you in a minute, we have two 3,000 watt inverters, and they are computerized, and they take care of everything. I mean, they switch it. If you plug into shore power, they immediately switch it to shore power. If you turn on the generator, it reads everything and just adjusts accordingly. I have breakers in there for AC and for the DC. We've never kicked a breaker because the inverters read it so quickly and kick off. And they wait 30 seconds and come back on. It's only happened twice, and that's when I had a direct short. When I was wiring and checking things. I had a direct short twice, and instantly they cut off. Now here is our window seats, and boy, I blew all the dust out of here last night. Look at that.
I know.
From all
I told you blow it out.
All
it's
the cooking
on everything.
I mean, from all the sawing yesterday and the sanding that I did yesterday. But these are our window seats, and they make it look a lot more homey. They're wood. Let me show you over here on this side. This is our doorbell. And here you can see the wood seat around the window seat, and then the trim.
Yep.
So we like that. It puts a little bit of wood in here, makes it feel a little more homey, I guess. So I'm anxious to get the rest of it finished, as far as our walls in the bathroom, and then of course painting all around that area there. So here's our little work desk. Tell me about this one, Debbie.
This is the work desk where we have the computer and stuff. The laptops can plug in here and we can work on those. We can also eat at this if we want to, whenever we're eating. And under here we have felt pads on the bottom of this, so it moves a little better than it did at first. But this is the IKEA fold-out table. It'll fold out and makes a real long table. And Jim's going to have to cut it down a little bit.
We are going to cut it down. We're going to make it a little narrower, and the reason is real simple. This IKEA bed, we're not as happy with it as what I thought we would be. Show them why, Debbie. It's very...
Well, the only reason is we love it.
It comes out too far here.
It comes out a long way. If this part was just go up a little higher, and this could go back the rest of the way, then it'd be perfect because it wouldn't take up so much room. But as it is, when you try to turn the table around, to fit in between here. So if we had a large group of people, some on that side and some on that side, the table doesn't quite fit. So he's going to have to cut a little.
About 6 inches I'll probably cut off of it. Let's put the bed out. Show them how that bed works.
But we love how the bed works. We really do, and we think it's a good option. It's just a little wider than we like for it to be.
You can see how wide that bottom portion is.
But it easily makes into a bed.
Talk a little louder, please,
Okay.
when you're away from it or looking the other way.
And there is storage under here.
Yes, there is.
So that's where I'll put the sheets and stuff for this bed. And this is the way this bed works, which is covered with sawdust and all kinds of stuff. Even a Mothra. So, yeah. So that's the way it works. And it makes a full-size bed, which is nice. And so we're happy with that. We're just not happy with the fact of how much it takes out of the whole place here.
So, yeah, the way it's made, that extra 6 inches of the padding there sticks out into your living space. So it decreases how much living space you have, floor space you have right here. But as far as the operation, it's very easy to do.
And then this is
What?
bench on this other side, just so we have more seating and everything. And also there's a lot of storage under there where we can put things we need to store. It will have a padded cover on the top of it.
Yes, it'll have a lift up lid right here. That lid will lift up. It'll have a piano hinge on it. And then I left this space back here so that when you lift it up, the pad will just sit in against the wall. It won't try to fall back down on you all the time, or you don't have to throw the pad somewhere else. You can just lift it up, it'll stay there. You can access anything inside there. Now, one thing also we have is this is long enough that if we decide to put a stove in, we would go with a Kimberly stove, and it would sit right on this end. Now, we would lose about probably 16 inches of this bench right here, but a Kimberly stove would sit right in here and vent right out the top right there. So if we decide we want a fireplace in here at some point, we may do it.
Kimberly stove is rated for use in an RV.
Yes, it is.
And so they're very safe. And they're very expensive, though, which is why we haven't purchased one yet.
That's exactly
we have to get
right.
the rest of the bus finished first, and then we'll see if we want to add that in.
Right. And our TV will go right up here. Vanna, you want to show us where the TV will go?
The TV will go right here.
Okay.
And there's going to be a little cabinet right here, which will have the DVD player, other things that we're using, right?
And shoe storage in the end.
Shoe storage in the end. These windows will also
Get
have
the
wood around
wooden
them like
window
the other
seats,
windows.
just like those.
They're looking good. He's done a fabulous job. This is our skylight up here.
Oh, we haven't talked about the ceiling yet.
Okay, talk about the ceiling.
Okay, the ceiling, for one person, it's pretty difficult to put a big piece of plywood on the ceiling, get it to curve and everything. So I just cut these. I think I cut them at about 10 inches, and we just overlapped them about an inch. And I really like the looks and how it came out. So I've been very pleased with that. I didn't see anybody else do that, but I just came up with the idea out of necessity of one person doing all the work. And then in the front here, we decided to put a skylight, especially for winter, so we get a little extra light in here. And this skylight actually is from a
Jeep Wrangler.
a Jeep. I think it's a 98-year Jeep back window. And I just took a grinder and cut off the frame and everything and mounted the frame right in there, welded it in. And so that's what you have there, is just a skylight. And I wanted something a little different. We haven't painted this yet, so you can't tell it very much, but I put the 3 small pieces in there, so we just have kind of a striped look. We have that on both sides. And then once you reach this part, you're actually back into the bus mode again. So
up here we didn't talk about the air conditioner.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the air conditioner. Oh, and the lighting. You didn't show the little lighting under the sink.
Oh, yeah,
or our lights.
fabulous.
Now we love the lights. They are LEDs, and they are very bright, very nice. And so we have all the lights installed now, and we did order these off of Amazon.
Yeah.
And you can see these little, they do not take up much space. I'm going to show you the bottom here, and then I'm going to show you the top. You can see how thin these are. They take up zero space, really. So it's pretty awesome. And then the same up here. They're very thin, and they put off an awful lot of light. And then the air conditioner is a mini split. Now this is a Climb Air, and we have been so pleased with it. We've been running it all this summer, and I mean, it makes such a huge difference. You can see it's got a little air sweep on it there, and then the outside unit, it's quiet in here, but the outside unit is extremely quiet too. You never hear it go on and off. It has what's called a soft start, and boy, we've been pleased with it. And right now it's perfect in here. It's pretty hot outside, and it's perfect in here. The speakers are the original speakers that came on the bus. You can see we put those back right approximately where they were, so we'll have music throughout our bus whenever we want it. And again, there's the area around the window, and then we will have a, right here we will also have a storage cabinet, and this window will also have, of course, the window seat and window trim.
Still shot.
Okay, we can do both. We can take a, there we go. Okay, this is just a shot of all the inside from the front, and of course this, we're going to paint this up here white also around the
emergency exit.
Around the emergency exit.
Oh, there's a few little touch-up things that we have to do, but
okay, now we also have some really cool things on this bus that I like. We have, what's that thing called right there, Debbie? A retarder.
yeah.
Wow, it saves your brakes. It's wonderful. We have lots of buttons that we won't be using. I don't know exactly how I'm going to end up finishing all this, but there's some buttons we won't be, but there's quite a few that we will be. The cruise control works wonderfully on this bus. It has an Allison transmission, and of course there's the push button. It's a push button style transmission controls. The heater, the regular heater up here, is still operational, so when we're going down the road we'll be able to use this heater. Also, when we're moving down the road, our air conditioner is a heat pump also, so we will have that heat. And then we also have our hot water heater that runs the radiant floor, so we'll have that heat as well. So I think we'll have plenty of heat during the winter,
so.
but we'll experience that.
And we have a 4-camera backup system.
And that's part of it right there, the 4-camera backup system, and it just has to be installed. So
And we also have the levelers that have to be installed.
we have Bigfoot levelers that we haven't installed yet. And then we have a radio to install. Now this has been a real trick for me because the harness and everything for the radio is different than what my new radio that I bought. So figuring out what color wires go to what color wires, because they're different, it has been a little difficult. But we will figure it out.